Hello, everybody. You know it's me, Hex, and today I bring you part 2 of What If Deku Had a Sound Quirk. Let's hop right into it, shall we? Deku takes a deep breath as he looks towards the 0 pointer. He's running, he's moving, but he wasn't thinking. How are his legs moving without his instructions? He thinks, whatever, I need to save her. As he looks down at the rubble, and he sees a young girl with brown hair and puffy cheeks. He thinks Jiro would be mad if I didn't save her, right? So he stops 15 feet in front of the girl and signals for her to cover her ears. She does. As he takes the deepest breath he has for a while, he inhales, and then he lets out a shriek one could only title as a banshee's yell. As this high-pitched, breaking sound leaves his throat, he changes the volume and the pitch, pulling out his hologram to slide up some different levers to spin something around on a wheel, different things. As he does, people see the sound waves changing. It's very fast, but those near enough can, as it goes from this super sharp, spiky sound wave to more of a smooth halo-like tornado of sound waves. As he shoots them at the robot's chest, it impacts the robot, and as it does, it caves in the robot's chest further and further until the robot cannot stand it anymore. As it falls backwards and it hits the ground, the sound waves are continuing to push as they break through the robot's chest, disabling it on impact, on destruction. Izuku is so tired. He never thought he could ever be this tired. And that damned headache. He can barely handle it, but he will. He has to. As he walks over, he destroys the rubble around the girl's feet by doing small shouts and different noises too. Small shouts and different noises as he compacts the sound waves and narrows them down onto the biggest pieces of rubble. He moves through others. He puts her arm around his shoulders as he helps her limp. He's not doing too good himself, but he's doing better than she is. As they are about 60 feet away from the exit, they hear over the intercoms, "And that's it, folks! That's the end of the exam. I hope you all aced the test. Now, please, everyone head home." Both Izuku and the person he doesn't know sighs of relief as Jiro catches up and says, "Izuku, are you okay? And who is this?" Izuku, panting a bit, hands her Ochako, since, Jiro's better off than he is. I'm okay, just a little exhausted. And I haven't gotten her name, but I just saved her from that thing that they sent after us. I need to start warning, if I do get in, I need to warn the freshmen about to do the test about that thing. It might be against the rules, but I hate that. Jiro chuckles as she says, "I don't think it was going to actually crush her. They might have stopped it first." Yeah, whatever. Let's get her to Recovery Girl, I think they said was the medic's name. And I need to head home. They both nod as they start walking towards Recovery Girl, who She does heal Ochako, but since Izuku only has a few bumps and scrapes, and he doesn't have the stamina to get healed from her, she just lets him be with a few band-aids and bandages. Jiro and him walk home, doing the same sort of routine that he was doing to Ochako, but Jiro is helping him walk. I saw what you did. That was impressive. It was something. He coughs up a little bit of blood, which he doesn't understand. He didn't use that much. And then he remembers the amount of control he used. It wasn't only the amount of sound waves he used. To control that many sound waves and condense them into a perfect halo is gonna take some energy. Nonetheless, he pretends like he's perfectly fine because he doesn't want Jiro to worry. They eventually do get to his house, which, like I said, is a lot better than in the anime. It's a it's a 2-story. Sorry, that's too much. It's a 2-story, 2-bathroom, 4-room. It's actually big enough that one of the rooms was turned into a studio for Izuku. As they walk in, it's very late at this point. Izuku is brought to his room, and Jiro tells Inko what happened, and Inko offers her to stay in the guest room. She politely agrees, as she calls her parents and tells them where she is and that she's going to be staying over for the night in the guest room. They're okay with it, and we do a bit of a time skip. Oh wait, no, that's right. Oh yeah, no, okay. Yeah, a bit of a time skip. It's been a few weeks, and throughout these few weeks, Zuko and Jiro have made a few songs. Yes, they make songs weekly. It's just that they're that good at making music. And what the hell happened here? Sorry. They're that good at making music that they can make this like whenever, man. They can make different types of music. They can make hundreds of volumes, like a year basically. So they're pretty good. Anyway. Okay. Sorry, I was checking something. I'm gonna close this now. But, the day finally comes where Jiro runs in the door with 2 envelopes and says, Izuku, Ingo, the notes came in. As she's like super excited, as you know, everyone should be. Because in this world, Izuku has kind of rubbed off on her. She will still have that, like, I don't know how to say it without being offensive, so we're just gonna say she hasn't changed much. Izuku rushes downstairs as he just presses his hair clip, and the holograms disappear as he slides right next to Jiro and grabs his letter and says, "Oh my, they're really thin." Oh no. They decide to do it in order, and Jiro opens hers first. Out falls a round disc with blue implants here and there, and some odd things. But importantly, there's this black lens with the UA inscribed on it, and as it hits the ground, a hologram comes out of the UA lens, and it's All Might, as he says, "Young Young Jiro, I am happy to see that you have made it in the... He stops for a second and then goes, wait, how many? Whatever. Young Jiro, I am proud to see that you have made it into the UA high school. And the thing shuts off because he has nothing else to say. Then, Deku opens his, and he sees All Might standing there, as All Might says, Young Midoriya, it pleases me to say that you have made the UA entrance exam. You are now in UA. And to be frank, you did the best. You placed number 1 in the UA entrance exam. Be proud of yourself. If you could have done that before this 10-month training period, I don't know. But it pleases me to see that you have made a few leaps and bounds. Azuku's tearing up a little bit because he expected to get in. But, you know, even with all of his cockiness here and there, he didn't expect to get first place. But, he feels 2 arms around him, one from Jiro and one from his mother, as both of them are tearing up as well. Same reason, Jiro's happy to get in, Inko's happy that they both got in. The rest of the recording goes the exact same as in canon, with All Might spieling about how he's going to be a new UA teacher, and that hero points are a thing, telling him that every time he saved someone he got a hero point, and the fact that he got like 90 hero points and like 80 villain points proves something, that he's a true hero, someone that will save those in need. Yeah, that ends, and Jiro and Izuku start bouncing up and down, basically, super happy. And they go make a song. It's a song about their lives, together at least, from the beginning when they first met, to the time where, you know, it's only been like a few months, I think I said it would be in this. But still, throughout these few months, if not a year or 2, they've gotten to know each other very well, and they make a song about all the adventures they've had, going through dark alleys at night to see who would get spooked, and when someone showed up to try to mug them, they would both just laugh, and then mug them. I'm kidding. But, yeah, they make a song that everyone loves. And when they're done, they say goodbye, and Jiro walks home. Izuku stays in bed and sleeps. They wake up bright and early, Izuku packing his stuff and immediately heading over to Jiro's. Getting there before she's awake. Which, no, this isn't because he's super creepy stalker dude and woke up an hour early. No, he's on time, she isn't. So he knocks on the door. Jiro's mom is there, and she greets him warmly, as, you know, she knows Izuku by now. He asked if he could go, or if one of them could go wake up Jiro, because it's time. And her mother laughs and, does. Jiro walks out of the house a little flustered with her hair in a bunch, we'll say, as she's trying to, you know, straighten it out. As he was like, huh, so even you can have bedhead. Didn't know that. Jiro just gives him a glare. But they continue on, as they walk to school. They're walking the path when Izuku and Jiro trip over each other. They were so close, laughing. And they're both touched on the back as they are floating. They look around quickly, saying, "What is happening? Did we get flight powers?" They look to their left and see as it's that girl that Izuku saved. As she bends down slightly, saying, "Oh, sorry, you two. I used my quirk to make sure you didn't fall." They get up as they dust off their fronts, even though they don't have to, because they didn't touch the ground. And they thank her as they introduce each other, or introduce themselves, as Izuku introduces himself. "I'm Izuku Midoriya." And he holds out his hand, they shake. Jiro introduces herself as, "I'm Jiro," because I don't know her last name. No, one of you is going to be pissed off by that, so I'll find her last name. Oh god, my phone's on 1%. The worries of the first generation problems, right? Wait, is that how you say it? I don't know. I'm not a cool kid like you. God damn it. Ah. Wi-Fi be gone. That worked. God? No, it didn't. Jiro introduces herself as Kyoka Jiro. There we go. Kyoka Jiro. They shake hands, and then the brunette introduces herself as Ochako Uraraka. As their meeting is done, they all walk into school, and Jiro and Deku get separated from Ochako. Eventually finding their way to the 1A door, which is where they were put, they gasp as they say, Why is the door so big? Are we in this class with giants?" Nonetheless, they open the door to be greeted by the image of Bakugo being shooed out by Ida, as Bakugo is relaxed with his feet on his desk. We can hear slight words of Ida saying, "You hooligan, get your feet off the desk. This is school properly. Stop being disrespectful to the UA school and everyone that has ever gone here." Bakugo makes a few witty replies, and Izuku's trying to walk by without Bakugo noticing. Not because, they weren't friends or anything, but because, he doesn't want to look bad on his first day like Bakugo does. But as he walks by, Bakugo yells up, "Hey, Izuku!" He turns around. "Yeah, Kachan?" I almost want to make Bakugo call him Deku anyway, because of his, complex. But if I do, it wouldn't really make sense. Anyway, Izuku, sits down on the desk a few away from Bakugo. Jiro sits to his right, and Ochako, eventually walking in, sits behind him. They have that whole "thanks for saving me" thing, because they didn't have it out front. And then the teacher walks in. As the teacher says, you know who he is. Aizawa says, "Everyone quiet down." Oh, in this world, he wasn't wearing a sleeping bag. He was a little distressed by the, knowing that a sound quirk user got number 1. Because, he kind of despises President Mike. Not that he hates him, but, that old thing. Anyway. He pulls some, gym uniforms out from a compartment in his desk, and he throws one to everyone and says, Put these on and meet me outside in the training field. And then he walks out. Everyone's muttering what about the entrance ceremony and all that. But they go. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. I've never figured out what the entrance ceremony's actual name is. As they all do, put the clothes on and get outside. They see that Izuku still has his headphones. That's about it. But Aizawa is standing in front of what seems to be a normal track with different things. He looks towards Izuku and says, "Hey you, aren't you the sound user that got first place in the entrance exam?" Izuku nods. "Stand in that circle." He points. Izuku moves and stands in the circle. "I want you to throw this ball. Actually, first, you got first place in your middle school exams as well, correct?" Izuku nods. "I was the valedictorian of my entire school, so yeah." What was your score for the ball throw?" 71 meters. He nods. "Alright, you weren't able to use your quirk in that test, were you?" Izuku shakes his head. "Well, use your quirk here. Let's see how far you can get the ball." He throws Izuku the ball. Izuku nods, as he already knows what he's gonna do. As he throws the ball up, he hums a note, and then he turns that note into a cradle around the ball, so it will float there for a minute. And then he whistles. Basically, what everyone else sees is him whistling and then grabbing the air in front of his mouth as he pulls it out like bubblegum. Then he whistles again and does the same. He just made 2 elastic-like notes. Yes, he can make things out of music notes. Then what he's going to do is he's going to keep muttering to himself as he connects the 2 long music notes to the cocoon-like thing he made around the ball. Then he's going to be pulling it back, and then he claps his hand, making a boom-like sound, and then he nurtures that and puts air inside of it so the sound waves will explode faster. Then he holds the ball that is cradled in sound waves behind, the ball is inside of a sound wave like a cocoon and is attached to elastic sound waves. You can see what he's doing here. He's making a slingshot. As he pulls it back as far as the sound waves will go, he holds it there with his manipulation, as then he turns that ball that he made of the sound waves and the air, the clapping sound waves, and he pushes it on the very back of the ball sound wave, the cocoon, and then he snaps his fingers as everything happens at once. The slap sound wave, or the clap sound wave, explodes, generating a lot of force. Then the 2 elastic sound waves kind of retract, shrinking up, then open again, making a slingshot. And then the cocoon sound wave around the ball disconnects from the 2 elastic sound waves and goes flying, breaking the sound barrier multiple times. And it flies into space, giving Izuku an infinite. Didn't know it was going to be that strong. Then he thinks to himself, guess All for One really did boost my quirk. He expected it to go, 500 meters? No, he expected it to go 2,000 meters. Sorry, I'm a little dense. But it probably, if we're going to measure it, went like 600 kilometers. I don't know actual kilometers to miles, but it went well over like 100 miles. So whatever. Anyway, Aizawa grabs another ball as he's speechless. You didn't expect the sound user to be so powerful. And then he looks at Bakugo and says, "You got second place in the entrance exam. Do the same." And he throws Bakugo the ball. The rest go around the same, but this time Jiro presses a button on her hair clip and plugs Hero Jacks into it, on either side of it. As her heartbeat beats and everyone can hear it as the ground itself shakes. She throws the ball up. By the way, this is a weaker version of what she has in her hero costume, so she'll probably get rid of it when she gets her hero costume, but anyway. And then the ball spins in air like, you know what happens with a golf ball when you put it on a extremely powerful stream of air? It spins in the air for a while. That's what she's doing with the ball. And then after a while, she lets go of it, and the ball goes flying. Gets 1,000 meters. So in first place, tied, is Izuku and Ochako. In second place is none other than Jiro. Fourth is Bakugo. Third is Todoroki, and so on and so forth. The other tests go pretty well for Izuku. He at least gets average, if not above average. Top 10 for most of the tests. Then the test ends, and it reveals that Izuku got first. Second place, yet again, was Bakugo. Third, Todoroki. Fourth, something that surprised everyone, Jiro. Fifth, Momo, and so on and so forth. Yet again. But they figured out that in last place was Mineta. And Mineta starts crying and begging to stay in the class when Aizawa says, "Ha ha ha," faking. Or fake laughing, obviously. Ah ha ha. I was never going to expel any of you. It was just a tactical redirection to make you do your best. Now everyone back to class. And everyone goes, they finish up the rest of hero class, and leave. Izuku and Jiro are traveling together, and they get home. They start talking a bit, and then they both decide to make another song. And they do, and then next day comes. They go back to school. Well, no, actually, it's a bit of a time skip. I forgot the order of things, but school goes about the same, but Izuku does better than in canon, since, you know, he has more smart friends than in canon, since he's popular, so he had a lot more time and better studies. Izuku, and Jiro and everyone are sitting in class when one day Aizawa just walks out. They're so confused. Isn't today hero training? Don't they have to go do something? And then they hear pitter patters coming from outside the door until it turns into wall shaking steps as no one else but All Might walks in, saying, "I am here, and today we're doing hero training." Everyone starts to cheer a bit, and then he waves his hand in the air, which quiets everyone. "Alright, today hero training is one of the most important things that you'll probably be taught at UA. Combat training. But first, you can't be a hero, or you can't be a pro without a costume." As he clicks a button, and the wall to their left opens up to show a bunch of suitcases. Everyone starts cheering even louder as they get their things. "Alright, get your hero costumes, go change in the boys and girls locker room, and then meet me outside at Alpha Beta," I think is what they called it. As they do. Izuku's costume is as you see in the picture. It's just like a green jumpsuit with a backpack that has orange leathery straps. On his waist, there's a belt that has a few different handheld instruments, such as like a drum that is strapped to his waist, a few different things. He has a headset and a hood, but for his shoes, they're odd. They have these weird metal things, like metal tipped toes, but you can clearly see that they're metal. It's odd. And then, Ochako comes over, Jiro comes over, and they start complimenting each other's hero costumes. Ochako in this says the same thing as in canon, but Izuku has paid no mind to her costume and instead is looking at Jiro's costume and says what he said to Ochako to Jiro. Yes, I'm doing that. Anyway. All Might then explains how this hero training will go. He explains that he's going to be writing everyone's names and dropping them in a hat, and teams will be divided by who he draws from a hat. Deku writes his name on a piece of paper and puts it in, but secretly writes Jiro's name and puts it in, so there's 2 Jiros and 1 Izuku. It's a prank, but it doesn't work as All Might doesn't draw that one. But the teams are drawn as Izuku Midoriya, Kyoka Jiro, as Team A. Team B is Ida, I forgot his last name, and Katsuki Bakugo. Team C is Mineta and Ochako. Poor girl. Team D is Todoroki. Sorry. And Bird Boy with the shadow quirk. I forgot. I'm such a Anyway, we're just going to focus on Izuku's match though. As Bakugo and Ida are selected as the villains, of course, Izuku and Jiro waste no time making a plan. Izuku says, "Alright, Jiro, I can boost you up to the 3rd floor, and then I can draw out those two, hopefully both Ida and Bakugo's attention. I know Bakugo won't really want to hurt me or kill me, so he won't dash after me if it means protecting the bomb. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a prank and see if I can piss him off. Then you need to go and stealth up and steal the bomb." Jiro agrees, and the exam starts as he whispers, not yells, so that the other ones won't hear it. "Go, fly away." And then he turns the sound waves from that into a cushion and pushes Jiro up, getting her into the 3rd floor. And she sees the bomb immediately. But standing in between the bomb and her is Ida. But Ida seems not to have seen her yet. So she just waits for him to rotate around the bomb and starts creeping forward, extremely slow so that she won't draw out his attention. And she's using her hologram, her clip, to mimic the land around her. She's going invis. And then Ida stands directly in front of her, and she stops for about 15 minutes. But in those 15 minutes, Izuku is on the very bottom floor, and he yells, "Hey, Bakugo! Or should I say Kachan? Remember that day at the bridge?" And as he's about to say bridge, Bakugo jumps out of a corner and says, "Shut up, Deku!" remembering the old nickname he gave him, and throws an explosion towards Izuku. Izuku smiles as he says, "I knew you would," but turns the sound waves from those "I knew you would" into a wall that the explosions bounced off of. Perfect reflection, as we hear a voice say, "This is an ability that allows him to turn any sound waves that he produces into a wall of something named perfect reflection. Anything that touches it bounces off of it like a trampoline and is sent back immediately." Explanation over. It resumes as time resumes. We see, oh god, wait, have I paused this? Hold on. We see Izuku, cancels perfect reflection as Bakugo dashes forward. There is a right hook explosion, which Izuku knew he would, as he ducks, steps left under his punch. He stands up and just whispers in Bakugo's ear, "You failed this one. Better luck next time." As Bakugo's eardrums rupture and he is knocked unconscious. Of course, Izuku did this knowing that Recovery Girl could heal him. He wraps him up and throws him outside so Recovery Girl can get to him immediately. And then he walks upstairs calmly, hands in pockets, doing that thing. When he gets to top floor, he sees this predicament of Jiro being found and Ida kicking her into a wall, cracking it on impact. Izuku says, "Ugh, ouch, Jiro, are you okay?" And he turns the sound waves. He runs them past Jiro so she can hear, and then impacts them into Ida's full force, sending him backwards into the opposite wall, cracking it on impact. He walks over, touches the bomb, and then looks towards Jiro and says, "Yeah, are you okay? That looked painful." As Jiro doesn't respond, he gets a little worried and says, "Heal." But, of course, he can't heal her. That would be too meta. Unless you guys say it's possible. I could probably find some bullshit reason that it works, like him turning a sound wave into like a thread and tying her skin together or something, or him convincing her cells to work faster or something like that. Whatever. He turns the heal sound wave into a cushion and brings her outside and puts her on the ground next to Bakugo, and has that sound wave that was a cushion turn into a needle and flies directly into the room where all the medics are, sitting, and it goes into Recovery Girl's ear. Of course, it doesn't rupture it because he's not trying to. And then, grabbing the bomb, they hear over the intercoms, "Hero team wins." Recovery Girl goes and heals Bakugo and Jiro, and then they all meet up in the one room to discuss the stuff. Alright, class, can any of you tell me why Izuku is the MVP for his team? Well, he took out both villains and grabbed the bomb, but throughout the whole process showed that he knew what he was doing. And, not to be frank, but kind of power flexed on those two villains, Momo says. All Might's a little impressed, but everyone could see that, as he says, "Very well, or very nice. Yes, he showed extreme prowess in his quirk, and good teamwork as well, sending Jiro in to grab the bomb. Although she didn't succeed, that does not harm their team. He was ready for this." The tests go on, and everyone gets around the same. And then Jiro and Izuku walk towards Izuku's house. But as they're leaving, Ida, Bakugo, and Ochako catch up and ask if they can come over. Izuku nods because he honestly doesn't care, and tells them, "Yeah, me and Jiro, we're just gonna go make a song and get something to eat. If you want to come along, you may. Maybe you can even pitch something in." We might make a music video this time. You guys have very interesting quirks. And he does. The music video is a very simple one where they did it in his front yard. But although being simple is damned cool, as it starts off showing flashing lights, and then it turns over towards Izuku to see a bunch of steam as he's standing there with a guitar. And to his left is Jiro with a bass guitar, and to his right is Ida with... he doesn't know how to play any instruments. Is standing there with a handheld drum. There we go. No, actually, we can just say Jiro and Izuku both taught Ochako and Ida how to play simple instruments like the drums or guitar. You guys are gonna say that's not simple. Yeah, whatever. They've been playing it their whole lives. They would know how to teach someone, right? They just taught them what the notes that they need to play. There we go. But then we see as Ochako comes floating in from the top of the screen as they are playing this epic bass. We see as Ochako taps the back of each of the people, each of Ida, Izuku, and Jiro's backs, and they start to float. As Izuku says a few words and makes them all move around the camera view very epically. Flying like Superman once for a joke, other things. Basically, it's a comedy, but at the same time, it looks hella cool. They finish up and go get something to eat, and they all separate except for Izuku and Jiro. They decide to ask permission for Jiro to stay over because they want to make more music. That's what Izuku thinks, but Jiro, being, mature at this age, being a female, knows what she wants, and, thinks that Izuku knows the same thing. But she will later be surprised by this young boy's smart idiocy. As their parents agree to let them sleep over, Izuku shows her to the guest room, and Jiro's a little disappointed, but she thinks that he's just telling her to wait until everyone goes to sleep. Then as he's sleeping, Jiro tries to peek into his room and then sees he's actually dead-ass asleep, and goes back to the guest room. Basically, she's thinking, oh, shucks, my plan failed. But whatever. The next day, or a few weeks later, I don't know, they're all meeting in class, and Aizawa says, today we're going on a field trip. It's another hero training. We're going to be going to the USJ. Alright, that's the end of this announcement. You may go to lunch. They do. And as they're sitting at lunch, they're just talking about quirks as Jiro sits down next to Izuku, and one of the girls laughs as they're about to, spill the beans to Izuku to kind of tease Jiro. But a red light starts flashing and the alarm goes off. Everyone is immediately worried as over the intercoms we hear a robotic voice say, Code Red! Code Red! Everyone evacuate the premise! Code Red! And everyone in the cafeteria starts screaming and running and trying to funnel out of the room all at once, which is crowding everything. And as Izuku is squeezed against the glass, so is Ida. Ida doesn't know what to do, but, oh yeah, they did the, I was supposed to do the voting thing. They voted for student council president, or not student council, sorry, they voted for, class lead, or class prez, and Izuku won first place, second was Momo, and third place would have been, third place was Ida. First was Izuku, second was, Momo. Izuku then asked, everyone to allow Jiro to be another officer, and Momo asked if everyone would allow Ida to be another officer. Everyone agreed, so those four now work together in tandem to keep the class and the school in order. But as they are trying to funnel out, Ida can't do anything, but he sees Ochako, and before he can ask her to float him up, Azuku looks towards the ceiling and shouts, "Everyone, stop!" But he makes the sound waves echo and reverberate as he sucks them in, and echo and reverberate, and then he bursts them out so everyone in the school can hear. "It's just the Prez! There's no real danger! Everyone, calm the hell down!" And once everyone hears this, they take the moment to look and see it is just the press, and they calm down. They calm down way faster than when Ida did this. So when they clear the way, Izuku starts running for the teachers and accidentally happens to stumble across a room that says files. And he hears noises from inside. He opens the door to see a man in a suit. This man has no hands and a head? No, he does. They're just hidden by purple smoke. As he says, "Oh my, you were not supposed to find me yet." Oh. Shigaraki will not be happy about this. But he does grab the file, which Izuku is able to read USJ. And then he pops through a portal. Izuku's immediately continuing running. He runs directly to the principal's office, breaking down the door, basically. Which, sitting inside, is Midnight, All Might, Skinny Form, which Izuku's seen before by now, Aizawa, the principal, and, I forgot what shooty guy was called, with the gun. They immediately look as, the gun guy, on instinct, just immediately pulls up his gun, about to shoot Izuku, and then Izuku holds up his hands. "Guys, I saw someone in the file room. It was a villain. I know of it. Or I know it. He grabbed a folder called the USJ. I don't know how this conclusion came to me, but I think they're planning, this villain is planning an attack on the USJ when we go there." Everyone's just like, huh? What? How did you even find the file room? That's on the 3rd floor. None of you are supposed to be on the 3rd floor. You can go check if you wish. But I'm gonna go with my instinct and say that we probably either shouldn't go there or we shouldn't go there. They go and check and the file's not there. And they decide, we're gonna go there because there's a slight possibility that this villain was just going for information. But if they do attack the USJ, we have plenty of people here ready to attack as well. Sorry about that, I'm back. Also, we'll continue where I left off. So, we're not going to we're not going to cancel the field trip. I know, why don't we just send more heroes? The principal says. That'll work, Small Might says. Then Nezu says, All Might, you have to be at the UA. Make sure that is your top priority. No hero work, understand? All Might nods. And then everything goes the same until the day of the UA, or USJ, meeting, basically. And they go there. But this time, it's not only Aizawa, it's All Might, and hiding in different vehicles and cars around the USJ, there are the other heroes. As Izuku and all the class walk in, they see, The rescue hero 13. I remembered. As she says, "Hello, class. Today you will be doing rescue training." They're super excited as she starts telling him about what that means. And then Izuku, stepping a bit forward to take a survey of the place, sees a black swirl appear and villains start walking out. And he immediately turns towards Aizawa and All Might and says, "They're here! I told you they'd be here!" Stepping out of the portal is hundreds of villains. And two people that one of them Izuku notices and remembers. The black man. Or no, the purple man. Man covered in black and purple smoke, sorry. And then someone with blue hair and fake hands covered all over him. But something even worse. Two massive forms behind them. These monstrosities. There's two Nomu. And that, my friends, is where we end this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on the video and comment in the description below. Alright, I'm Hex, and peace out.